I've been moving through the markets to find more incredible finds. I have those to bring to you in this video. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. And while the people from Pennsylvania might be dreaming of a white Christmas, if you ask the people from Florida, they might just say, I don't snow. I'm not exactly sure where I was going with that joke, but I'm going to leave it in the video here. I want to talk about, I got a couple different stocks on here and some crypto to toss in there. I have Capital One Financial, Carvana, CrowdStrike, Nvidia I want to give an update on, and then I also want to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also Avalanche. Give some updates because crypto never sleeps. And later in this video, I'll tell you how I'm playing this market, about my Patreon, that link's down in the description, also my options course, and about your free stocks from Moomoo. In the meantime, I do want to get right into the charts themselves. So let me bring that down and pop this up here for you. So the first stock that we're looking at is Capital One Financial, ticker symbol COF, and check out that overbought status that we have right now. Now, mind you, this is on good volume. We could possibly see this thing move higher, but at some point in time, I think that we're going to have that price correct and come back down a little bit as we left its long-term trend a long time ago. So if I were to put a trend line on this thing, you might say that it's something right around there. And if we go back in and look at the current price that we see right now, that brings us back down to 121. So if they do return back down to that long-term historic trend for support, that 121, we could possibly find it there. That could be a few percent for us. Now, mind you, we don't have a sign of a turnaround yet of the fact that we're going to reverse back down in the other direction. But I do want to say this stuff early. That way it is out there for you to look at, for you to do your research and due diligence on. That way you don't have to feel as though you need to rush to something and jump into something that's not quite ready to move. And remember, none of this is financial advice. This is all on your moves, your research. I'm just bringing out the opportunities that I find. Carvana has done incredibly well also recently. And this one is actually one that I was taking advantage of with a short, and man, it did not work out. This thing popped and actually reversed back in the other direction, and when it broke up back above this 50 here, I just had to cut my losses on that one. And it's been an incredible run, and with the Fed coming out and talking about rate cuts coming, and also Carvana being an interest rate sensitive part of the market, this is one that really did take off, although we are currently at a triple top right now as we look at this and overbought status. I do think that it's possible that we do get some settling in the near term for Carvana. So I think that this is also worth watching for those signs of reversal to come out. So some of the charts that you see in the lower time frames are going to be the ones that are going to be a little bit more telling early on. And when we see it pop up in the daily charts, and especially in the weekly charts, that can be even more telling for where we're at for that. But you do want to watch for the reversal for each of these stocks should we get those signs anytime in the near future. So CrowdStrike is the next one, and you can see this thing went absolutely parabolic recently since their last earnings. And this is another one that burned me on a short play. Now, it is dangerous to short above the 200 and above the 50-day because those are both bullish signs, but you can watch for a reversal and you can take advantage of stocks that are overbought and take a pretty drastic fall that you would see percentage-wise as it starts to settle back down. So right now they're around 260, which puts them $40 away, so about 15% away from the all-time high of about $300. And if we do push on to that 300 and experience that double top, I think that it's almost certain that we would see a reversal. Now, mind you, it's already so significantly overbought in ways that we haven't seen, well, I think in the history of CrowdStrike, that this is absolutely worth paying attention to. Even if we got to the weekly here, even on a weekly chart basis, as we look at this thing, man, we are still way in the overbought territory. Now, if you look back the last time that we got so overbought, so here we went up to overbought, settled just a little bit, and then ripped further, back into overbought, settled just a little bit, and then ripped some more after that. And it wasn't until, well, all the way out here that we actually got a pretty substantial fall from there. And I do think that it is possible that we could see the signs of reversal coming in pretty soon for us. That is a lot of up with very little down. Now, mind you, it is also off of a depressed stock price, much like what we had for Carvana and Capital One Financial. So some of that overdoneness that we get is because of how low of a baseline we're coming from and how quickly we recovered as the different news for the market came out, especially concerning the Fed. In each of these areas now for CrowdStrike, it's a little bit more about the cybersecurity side of things. So we do want to pay attention to that. So all three of those companies, I think, could possibly reverse on us in the near future. So setting up some short plays, and I wanted to put those out there as early markers for stocks that I'm watching for that sign of reversal to come out and come back off of that overbought status that we have, just cooling off a little bit for each one of those. Now, Nvidia, I talked about the cup and handle play on this one. Now, mind you, all we have so far is the cup part of this. We don't know that the handle's coming yet. And in the pre-mark on this, we're down about 1%. So maybe we're starting to see that drift, maybe not. But I do think it's possible that we do drift for a little bit of time in Nvidia coming off of that resistance at 500. We did peak up above it, but we closed just barely above it, where I said in my video last night that I didn't think that resistance at 500 was broken for us by being a few cents over that. So resistance at 500 still holding. This line up here that I have for you, that one is all the way up at, looks like 517 for right now. I actually want to bring that back down for you. So let me click on the correct tool here and take away that stray mark. There we go. Bring that back down. That's where we want to see that. So that's right around like 504, 505 is where we actually peaked out on this thing. And this height of the cup that we have right here, it goes off of the height of the handle that we have for that breakout period that could show us how high that's going to go. But we need to see the handle first. We don't know that we're getting that. So I'm going to take just a quick moment about the Patreon. If you want to see my buys and sells, how I'm playing this market, my Nvidia stock price prediction, earnings projection. Same thing for my Tesla stock price prediction, earnings projection. It is available at the Patreon. Also, my options course is available over there. And also down in the description, you'll find a link for Moomoo. With a quality deposit, you get up to 15 free stocks and 5.1% on your unused cash. So take advantage of those offers while they last. Well, I guess the Patreon one is going to be there. So take advantage of those offers. Moving back into the charts that we have here, Bitcoin, bit of an update on this one. On a daily basis, we still have declining momentum. We want to watch and see what that is. We are catching support right around $40,500. So we want to watch for that. We do have resistance on this right at about 43.5. So we want to be watching that as well for that resistance. That's a resistance that we want broken. And on a daily basis, we want to see that momentum start to tick back up. And that's going to be a good sign for us. That high wick that we have on this most recent candle is something that's not necessarily the greatest sign that we want to see for bullishness, but we do want to keep on watching that. So for Bitcoin, I do think that there's still possibly a run left for the Bitcoin ETF, especially if the markets go into a risk-on environment. We just need to watch for that. Ethereum, also on the coattails of that, following the Bitcoin rallies, we should also get those altcoin rallies. It is possible that we're going to see a head and shoulders, an inverse head and shoulders come out of this. So for further bullishness, further upside, and if so, that resistance is about 2,300. And if we break out of the top of this trend line, that can show further bullishness where we can pop up out of there. Maybe we even see 2,500 soon. If we see Bitcoin go on the run that I think it can go on, Ethereum should even be able to pop this 2,500 line. So we want to be watching for that. And then Avalanche, just another update for this one. Right now, we're catching resistance at about 41.40. We've peaked up above it just a little bit, but so far it's not giving up. And on a 4-hour basis, we can see a slight build in the momentum. If we pop this line, we should be able to see an increase in that momentum, and that would be further bullishness for Avalanche, which the next resistance that we get, significant resistance, is about 43.25. And then above there, we also have it about $45. After that, we got room up to about $52 per AVAX token. So take a look at that, guys. Let me know what you think about it. And let me put myself back up here. So to summarize this thing, we have Capital One Financial, Carvana, and CrowdStrike that I think are significantly overbought and could settle back down in the near term, but we got to watch for those signs of reversal. I am not taking a position yet, if I do at all, but I will let you know about that. And then Nvidia, I think, could possibly set up that cup and handle for further bullishness. We're going to have to watch for that one. Right now, we got rejected at about the 500 level, and remember that there's a little bit of resistance at about that 503 to 505 that we have, but should we get the cup and handle, I think that we blast right through that. And then also the cryptos that are out there, whether it's Bitcoin or any of the altcoins, I think that there's still some bullishness to go on in the crypto market as well, so we want to be watching for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Meet me and my community members over at the Discord. Sign up for that Patreon. That link is down in the description. And then also, don't forget about your free stocks from Moomoo. As always, guys, I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.